shit at the pot.
He stepped up, he's hit.
Niggas be talking, be sober, but still talking shit like
And
they
he
got it.
fumbles the football at the
They say that
Eagles
they got
had
it.
him.
Some money, these niggas gon' say that they got it.
Oh my God.
You're
Deep
not
to
with the
right
kid, it's
field.
success, and these niggas gon' blame it on talent. They don't wanna see you win. They don't wanna see the race. You don't wanna see a bitch caught up in the stars like she out of space. Mention that they kinda at the mention and I'm running out of space.
Welcome to another episode of the City of Brotherly Love Sportscast. Same co-host as usual, Blake and Dylan. If you haven't yet, hit them likes, subscriptions. We're on everything now, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Make sure you never miss an episode. We're trying to build this shit up as usual. Shout out Hart of Philly, Shane Gray. I say this every week, but we're trying to make some shit happen, trying to put some shit together, see if we can get big enough, start handing shirts out to people. So got some good stuff to talk about today. Not much going on with the Phillies and the Eagles, but definitely talk about the Sixers and Flyers. So I'm going to start it right off. Sixers, fucking brutal loss to the Cavs. I understand it was out without Tobias, but just watching the bench play, it's horrendous in my eyes. Nobody that can shoot the ball from the 3-point once the starters are off the thing. Joel can't do everything. So based off what you saw, I don't know if you watched the whole game or not. What do you want the team to do? Because I think they have to make a move now.
I watched the game. I watched most of the comeback because they were down, the whole game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it was very epic. But, bro. I mean, Ben and Embiid combined for 33 of the first 47 points in the first half. That's no Toby. Seth hasn't been the same. They're blaming COVID for it. Said a slow start. It could be facts. I don't know. It's affecting everybody different. But Danny and Seth just aren't starters. They really aren't. I think this is why you gotta make a push for an extra two guys. You need Kyle. Bring Kyle home. # bring Kyle home, because I'm just gonna keep saying it until he's not here. And a backup four or whoever they can get for whatever, it could be the dude, Bajelica, it could be, BG gets balled out. God, somehow the Sixers get on him too. It could be, Thad Young. I fucking would love Thad Young back here. My God, that's my guy. But, I don't know, dude. They need more, clearly not even Shake Milton is ready to take that role over. He's been too inconsistent this year. He's either going off for stretches or he's inconsistent. Sometimes that might happen with your sixth man, but he's too inconsistent. He can get you a bucket. He's a nice little player, but they got no backup ball handler. They don't use Maxi. Cork is Cork. He is what he is.
Random games where he goes off.
Yeah, when you get that all the time, I guess you hide him. Doc knows how to hide him a little bit better defensively, but
yeah.
He even plays better defense, I feel like, but still, in general, this team's just it's a little concerning. Last week, I didn't want to. We talked about the poll about how will it be concerning for most people right now after that stretch, and I feel like now it's starting to get concerning. We're good, and I still don't see us getting bounced in the first two rounds, but if they don't add something, it could happen in the second round. Very likely, like it's been lately. I think we beat a Boston. I think we beat anybody in the East, really, except those other top two teams up there with us. So that's just where I stand right now. Doesn't mean I don't think we can't win. I just think right now it's just Ben and Embiid, and you just saw how important Toby is. You literally just saw how important Toby is. People always want to hate on him. This year, everybody loves him, and that's exactly why that man's an all-star. I don't care if his numbers aren't as gaudy as others. That's exactly why that man should have been an all-star, because you just saw how good and how important he is to the team.
Especially on the defensive end, his defense has gotten extremely better, especially this season. So then when you have to start a Korkmaz and he's starting in your starting lineup, that you're missing a piece there. But if you're able to go out and snag a Lowry, these dudes can take rest nights and you won't see it as badly. You know what I mean? You won't see when Embiid's out. When Embiid's out, obviously you're going to see it the most because you don't have that backup five that's like that. But Ben can take a night off and Lowry can run point. Toby can take a night off and you still got Ben and Lowry up top running the point, running 1 and 2. But if you're able to bring in like that backup 4, like a BG, or even start some games, I think Lowry bringing that in, but I think a backup 4 is just as important right now.
Yeah.
Bringing in Lowry is.
I think he can play. Like, a lot of people are like, where would you play Lowry? Where would you play him? I mean, the dude hits the 3 incredibly well, especially this year. He's at like 40%. And we were just speaking about it. He snapped the last 2 games he played. He had a nice triple double in the one. Because, a guy like Lowry's getting a triple double and they're catching a double. That's an important triple double. Not that certain triple doubles aren't, but. And then the other game, he snapped for like 20-plus points, too. I mean, he's good, dude. He's balling. His 3-point percentage is up there. You can probably play him at the 2. He'll play better defense, I think, than Seth, personally. I think he's a better defender than Seth. So,
yeah.
And
I mean,
Danny,
like you were saying with Seth, he's just – once he came back to me, he hasn't been the same. He went 1 for 13 the other night.
Yeah, he's just not the same, dude. Maybe it was just COVID in general. Like, it hit him, took him off a break. He needed to stay in the groove and keep playing. And maybe there was some effects, I think he said after, but I think he's just not getting shots to fall right now, really. I think that's really what it is. And Danny's just an inconsistent, streaky player. He plays
needs
some
to come off the bench.
He needs to play some good defense. I think, though, if you added like a Lowry, I think a lot of people will say Seth, but I think Danny would still start, and then Lowry would start. I don't know.
Just because of position and defense. Just because of defensive, Doc will go defensive over.
Yeah, I think it would make more sense in general because you're not going to have that loose of an offensive lineup.
And then if you can, I mean, I guess if you can bring in Shake and Seth off the bench, then it's not that bad.
Be fire.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be a solid lineup depth. And then I don't know. We're at the point now where like last year, seeing how important Ben was last year, and then losing him right before the playoffs. Like, I hate to talk about it, but like just losing one player could keep us from a 1 seed to like a first or second round exit like that. You know what I mean?
I don't think we're gonna get the 1 seed, but I don't think it matters. Like, if you asked me right now, if you said 1 seed or Lowry, taking Lowry, and if you even said 3 seed or Lowry or 4 seed, I'm still gonna say Lowry because at that point you're giving yourself more firepower. Playoff basketball is important. I get it. We're not good on the road still for some goddamn reason.
Makes no sense.
But playoff basketball is a different atmosphere. It would be even harder to win on the road, but you add a bulldog like Lowry. You have Ben doing his thing, and you have Embiid doing his thing and Toby doing his thing. I really don't see anybody beating the team except maybe the Nets. I think we're better than the Bucks. I just think it's really just us and the Nets. And I think I'm not sleeping on the Bucks anymore. I ain't impressed. Like, someone just showed me that, Giannis hit like a game-winning dunk the other night. Like,
I know.
You ain't doing that in any other game, bro. You ain't doing that in the playoffs. You're gonna have
but
to take a shot.
If Ben hits a game-winning dunk, it's a why wasn't it a 3-pointer?
Yeah, that's just because Philly fans are fucking idiots. But
for me, it's we have to be the 1 through 3, because if you're the 4 seed, you're getting the Nets.
Well, you see,
but like right now, the separation between 1 to 3, and then 4, it's so big.
I was about to say the 4th seed is 17-17, and Knicks fans are fucking throwing a parade in the middle of the street.
I know.
They're like, Bobby Schmidt is home, and we're 4th in the East. You know what? You suck. You're still trash. Like,
yeah, Brandon B. You know who you are. Next fucking blow.
You don't listen, but I have a boy from a while back who's in New York too, and he's a big Knicks fan too, and he's like, I think he's just hype. He's really realistic, but I'll let you have your fun. It's not like
I can see them winning in the first round.
Yeah, dude, Julius Randle's out there hooping.
If they snag us Boston, the way Boston's playing this year in the first round, they could take them.
Yeah, they could. Thibs.
So we'll see.
Thibs Nation.
Yeah. So we'll see. Hopefully, waiting for those moves to happen. Hopefully, maybe even this week. What's the trade deadline? The 25th.
Yeah.
So that's coming up in like 3 weeks. So moves got to happen ASAP, Rocky.
Morey's the GOAT, and he knows his team needs a move. He knows they need multiple moves, and people might not be like some people are just like so set on keeping youngsters because they don't want to mortgage the future. There is no mortgage to really future. Your future is now with Embiid. Ben is your future too. because we're hopefully Ben's here just a lifetime because Embiid's not going to last. Embiid's going to last long, but we're only hoping another
5 years.
5 at the max, but
Max.
3 really good years of what
Playing like this. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, right now it's like I love Maxi, but you're telling me Kyle Lowry can come here and then Kyle Lowry can sign like a cheap 2-year deal or even another year, just run it back. Yeah, it's 100%. I'm 100% about it, especially with the way this team has been drafting late in rounds. You got a Thibault. Maxi just fell. I think Maxi just fell because I think he's still better than like half the draft class. And even like a Shake Milton, you found him and you developed him. So clearly, like our development or like the program, like our developmental program, that aspect, and clearly we've hit on some picks later. It's shown, and I mean, I'm not really. I won't lose sleep over losing Maxi if it means one title in this town. Of course, I would want multiple, but one title. You know, people aren't even lucky to see one title. So if I'm lucky enough to see one title, is bye bye Tyrese. I don't want to have to say bye bye. Maybe they can get him without having to give him up. But I think realistically, it's going to take a youngster and it's going to take a first, and then they're going to have to eat some. They're going to have to eat some money, whether it's like a Mike Scott or Danny. Hopefully, like fucking bum ass Mike Scott, not Danny Green. Because I still want Danny for depth. If I had to get rid of him for Kyle, I'm doing it though.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's the one thing we want. Like how we talked about Dave Dombrowski. Like, I'll take one championship over anything. Like,
yeah.
Would you? I would take one championship. Like some people say, would you rather be the best team in the league but not guaranteed a championship, but you're guaranteed a championship this year? Like, what are you taking? I'm like, guaranteed championship. Like it's an easy question, especially in this city right now.
Yeah,
so
it's like the same thing they talk about all the time a while back. I think it was after the Eagles won. They were like, and so far it's kind of true, even though we made the playoffs. The Eagles still been shit the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Barely scraping in, poor performances. It's like they would say on the talk show, they would be like, would you sacrifice 10 years of bad football for one Super Bowl? And I was kind of like, well, the Eagles always been good. You're not guaranteed the bowl, but you're always staying good. But it's like you get the bowl or you're bad for 10 years. And I'm kind of like, I'm happy with the bowl no matter what. But it's like, I don't know if I can sit through another fucking 6 years of shit football.
Yeah, seriously.
But I would take that one championship this year if someone ever asked me that. I'd be like, yeah, dude. It'd be like the same thing with the Flyers. The Flyers could suck for the next 20, and I would be pissed off the next 20 years. But if they won this year, I'd be blacked out for 5 months straight.
Exactly.
Going nuts until the next season starts.
So we want to see the Sixers holding that trophy up, and we also want to see the Flyers, which they're fucking rolling. They're now 11-4-3. They have their back-to-back shutouts of the Sabres and then a 4-3 win over the Rangers last week. But they have a tough stretch coming up. So they're, 3 straight games against the Pens and then a game against the Caps.
Pitt's been they picked it up. I think they still are a shell of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Not as good as what people think. You know, you see Pittsburgh and you're like, wow, this decade they had a couple cups. They were in the playoffs a lot. Pretty dominant team. Like,
yeah,
one of the most dominant teams this last decade. And you're thinking to yourself, you know, they're good. You still got Sid the Kid, got Malkin. Their goaltending is real rocky and their defense is real rocky. Their depth overall is real shitty. I don't think they're better than us. I hope we win 2 games. I hope we win all 3, or I hope we win 2 and lose 1 in overtime. Best case scenario, we win all 3. Worst case scenario, we win 2, which is going to happen. I'm confident we're going to win 2. This team's really found their shot. I know some people are like, well, it was Buffalo. Well, we shut out Buffalo, and they had the number 1 power play in the league, which is fucking mind-boggling.
Shut them out twice.
Shut them out 3 times this year, though.
Yeah, this year.
Twice in dominant fashion. And Carter Hart, people press the panic button on him. Look up his stats. We talked about him last week. He's only bad against 1 team in the league, as well as the rest of the Flyers, and that is Boston, because we're 11-1-1 against anybody. I'm going to say that every week on the pod, unless they'll probably lose this week. But I'll be like, hey, we're 13-2-1 against anybody not named Boston now.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally what it's going to be. So, and I was telling Dill, we didn't even have our best forward for 4 of the 5 Boston games. And then the one game we did have our best forward, the other 6 stars on the team are missing. So, I mean, imagine when we're fully healthy, we lost 3 games to Boston by 1 goal. 1 was a shootout, 1 was overtime, and 1 was regulation, 2-1 loss.
Yeah.
And we should have won 2 of those games realistically. We should have, could have, would have, but I think we can take Boston. I'm not worried about them. I'm not trying to look any further into the future. We're rolling. We've hit our stride, we'll probably do the pot around the 1-year date of the shutdown, but it's March 1st. This time last year, Flyers were on a 5-game win streak, rolling on, becoming the hottest team in the National Hockey League, looking like, hey, we're going to win the cup. And it shuts down. They come back. Not that they were playing horrible hockey, but they were not the same team. This year, they're just so deep, and the forwards are finding the back of the net. We haven't looked good really until recently, but we still were winning, so that's all that matters. Because I was like, you know what, they got to get it together eventually. COVID hits this team hard, didn't shut us down. Obviously, I think we had a couple games. We had 2 weeks postponed, and then the team comes back to play. We're still missing those 6 players, and next thing you know, we lose Tahoe another game. But once we start to get our guys slowly back but surely and get healthy, we're fucking dominant again. We're hitting our stride, dude. Play Buffalo, I get it. They're not the best team in the East, but you gotta dominate.
It doesn't matter. You need something to get your momentum.
They got dominated by Buffalo earlier this year and won because of Brian Elliott. And Carter Hart had a huge fucking save yesterday. It was 2-0, and they're coming down at Taylor Hall and I forget who, and they're on a 2-on-1. Smack the puck over, nice little one-timer, and Carter fucking stretches across and saves it with his pad. That's a huge. That was monumental. That was a momentum swing right there if they scored, and Hart stopped that. Next thing you know, we score in the third, and Fat Lady was singing away.
I don't care what teams it is. It's all it takes is a few games of just like beating down on somebody to get your full momentum and get everybody's strides, especially coming back from like a COVID break. Like, even though it's basketball, like talking to how Seth never got his stride back, like that shit takes a toll on you when you're not doing anything, not working out, not playing, not practicing with the team. Like it takes you a little bit to get back into a stride. Like, yeah, obviously the biggest thing this year is they're getting outshot like crazy, obviously. But like you said, they're still winning the games. They're still winning those games. And these past Sabres games, they've been able to outshoot them both times.
And the last Rangers game.
The Sabres were the number 1 power play team in the NHL. Didn't get these past 2 games. They didn't get – I think they went it was like 0-for-8 or 0-for-9 on the power play within the 2 games. Like,
and our PK's dead last.
Yeah, it was like 28th or 29th or some shit. Yeah. So, like, that's improving. And then you still got – like, it's just the little things. Now what? I don't know if I'll play on Wednesday night or Tuesday night, but TK is supposed to now be back, and that brings everybody off the COVID list.
I mean, I guess we'll see how he's doing symptom-wise because I didn't know that Flyers players had symptoms. Like, G had symptoms. And look at G. I mean, he hasn't had a point in the last few games, but he's still been playing great hockey. The one game he came off of fucking balling like a monster.
The Rangers game, yeah.
And then the last 2, he still looked good. The whole team has really looked good. Coots just dirty, though, and he looks amazing. So I
think JVR is the nastiest goals this year, though.
Makes it look so easy. He doesn't even get hype. He just taps.
He's just like this. He's like,
so easy.
Them power play goals are crazy. I don't know, but
I mean,
you could still see that our biggest issue is definitely the second and third line defensive pairings. I kind of liked Myers yesterday on the third line. Just because you were kind of splitting up, but they're going to probably eventually put him back with Provy.
That's why I'm hoping they go out, and it sucks because, the expansion draft's coming up this year, and you're trying to protect everybody you possibly can to keep this core intact. And you really don't want to make you don't want to make a trade, but if you feel like you can win, you got to do it. And I know Tampa's a damn good team, but I'm not worried about anybody else right now except our conference and who's in our conference because that's all we're playing. So, I still want Matthias Ekholm. I don't know what other defensive options are out there. There's guys out there, and there's guys available. I was reading through some of the list, but nobody really that I love that much. Like they said Keith Yandel, but I don't want Keith Yandel. We don't need another offensive defenseman. And Matthias Ekholm's kind of offensive defenseman, but his points came with his defensive game, if that makes sense. Like he's such a beast defensively. And now he's kind of been having a down year out in Nashville, but it's because Nashville's expecting him to handle the whole workload. It's kind of like Provy up here. Everything's on Provy's shoulders. So if you bring this guy up here and he pairs next, and he had 2 goals the other day, you put this guy next to Provy, I think it will be like a Matt Niskanen and maybe even better pairing. And then
Yeah.
you can really balance it out, put Phil Myers and maybe Travis Zanon together. And your third pairing can be just Hag.
Braun, probably.
You still got Ghost and Gustafson. It's so hard.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Maybe you probably move one of them in a trade, but so hard, man. You just can maybe even keep one of them around still. Then you rotate a Hag, a Braun. So it's tough, dude. I don't know, but I like the way they're playing. They're really hitting their stride. Yeah, I don't see many teams beating them right now. I don't see Pitt beating them 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 3. I see Pitt maybe getting 1, which they should because we swept them the first time. I see a lot of bad blood this series, maybe too, like a lot of chippiness, you know. So I'm excited. I'm excited to watch these games. I'm excited to watch them. Can't fucking wait, especially because I'm off Wednesday, so I can't wait to watch. I'll be able to just stay up, not have to worry about going to sleep and
get hammered for the Flyers.
Yeah.
That's usually how it works.
Yeah.
But hey, we were talking about how we don't know if they're going to do like an AllStar Break this year, right?
Yeah, I don't think they are.
Because I don't know, like, because when you look on the schedule, it doesn't even have a break spot on there at all. We're playing like every other day for the next 30 fucking days.
Yeah, we don't get 2-day break for like 5 weeks.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting. Hopefully they don't get tired. You could tell yesterday, like on the one, like that shit hits you hard because I think, like, just the little things like Buffalo, how we had our third goal. Buffalo was on the ice for like
so tired. I was praying for a goal there, and then it just looked like a power play. We just wore them down, and then thank God JVR redirected that. That was so nasty.
So like even just saying like those little times of the game though, that could kill you in like the back-to-back games.
Yeah, no, it definitely can, man.
So hopefully we don't get hit with that. But I mean, every team in the NHL has that set up right now, so
yeah,
should be pretty fair. Should be pretty even. So hey. See what they do this week against the Pens. We'll follow up next week. Should look good. But other than that, fucking yesterday. So, yeah, we're recording early this week. It's Monday night. So on Sunday, the Phillies spring training started. Fucking got absolutely spanked by the Tigers, 10-2. No starters played, but today they came out on Monday. And then they tied the Orioles because they don't do extra innings in spring training. But Matt Joyce, there's one guy that looked fucking nasty. And Matt Joyce hit like a 405-yard bomb, 405-foot bomb. And then he made a diving catch in right field. So, like, he looks like the Jay Bruce of this year type thing. But some starters played today. Super excited. But talking about that is the biggest thing I wanted to bring up with is the state of Pennsylvania. So Tom Wolf finally approved for fans to be back in the stadium. 15% indoors, 20% outdoors, which equals 3,000 fans in Wells Fargo. That's Blake's biggest thing. At 8,000 fans at Citizens Bank.
Yeah, I'll be there too.
This fuckface in Philadelphia still needs to approve those numbers.
Yeah.
So,
and he's not going.
No. So we'll see how that goes. I think he might do like a half cursor of it. I don't know, but I don't know what. So our biggest thing now is we don't have much to talk about for the Phillies today. Obviously, it's just spring training. They haven't made any moves.
Fans are already going to have fans at the game tomorrow night. I don't know if you saw that.
Tomorrow night?
They're already rushing fans to get them into the stadium as soon as possible. Penguins fans are going to have fans at the all-season ticket.
Oh, you're talking about Pitt?
Yeah, they're going to have for the Flyers game, but you can go back to what you were saying. I just wanted to say that because of the fan thing.
Yeah, it's because their mayor's not an asshole, so.
I guess not.
Yeah, dude, I'm hoping. So I just wanted to ask what you were most fucking excited for because that's pumped up because I got to go to 2 Eagles games this year, and that was lit. So I want to know what you think.
I'm definitely. Soph was asking me the other day. She was like, "I just can't wait to go to a game." She's like, "I miss Flyers games," and I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Flyers." I'm excited to be in the Wells, even if it's for the Sixers. I feel like Sixers is going to cost. I mean, Flyers probably will cost an arm and a leg, but they can get that going, and I can get some tickets pretty cheap and worth it. I'm going, and I'm gonna be dumb excited, and I'll probably be the loudest. I'll probably be the loudest and most obnoxious fan there, and I don't care, but. Phillies, I'm just really excited for all of them because I love going to the ballpark. So Phillies, I'm excited for too. I mean, 8,000 fans, the Phillies are used to that right now anyway. Maybe not as much since Bryce came here, but before that, it was like
yeah.
you go to a game, maybe you were breaking 10 before that when we were good actually back in 08 from that stretch of like 07 to 2012. We were selling out consistently, but, people don't want to watch bad baseball, so people don't want to go to games, which makes sense. But, hey, man, I'd be excited to go to the ballpark. I'll throw some glizzies down my throat and
I'm pumped, dude.
But
Everybody knows, like Rose knows, dude. Baseball season, like being at the fucking Citizens Bank is my favorite fucking thing ever. Like outdoors at a fucking baseball game, man. I'm hoping April 1st.
Hopefully we can tailgate too.
Praying, man, because
April 1st, day after my birthday.
Like you said, glizzies in the mouth, beers in hand. That's just
tailgate too.
That's just popping. So, let us know what you guys think, where you're going to be going, what your favorite fucking stadium is, because super excited. I feel like everybody has a different, or maybe even if you're planning on going outside the city and going to some other stadiums, that'd be pretty cool too. Because, like, I think this year the Eagles have a bunch of fucking travel. I think one that I'm definitely going to try and do is travel to Vegas this year for that Eagles game in Vegas. I think that's going to be dope as shit. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah. But before we hit this, we're going to do, instead of a hot take, I'm going to do a bold prediction that I'm stealing from Archie Bradley. So this man went on MLB Network and said that he predicts Alec Baum to have 30 home runs this year.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he predicted. I think he might have hit 35.
If he's making the contact he's making, which he will be again, he beefed up like 15 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Power is always the biggest thing when translating, and he had the power last year, but it wasn't fully there. I think he's going to be rocking shit this year. That's my guy. Mm-hmm. I fucking love him. Yeah, so he's going to be huge for the team this year because we're going to need him to step up. If he's good this year, this team's contending easy.
Absolutely.
And you need Bryce. Bryce needs to be giving me he doesn't give me 300 batting, but I would love that. And he's giving me 275, 40 dingers and 120 RBIs.
Absolutely.
That's what I need. He's been good since he's been here, but I want great.
That's an MVP season, by the way, what you just said.
And that's what he's capable of.
That's what we want. That's what I want. Yeah, I mean, my biggest thing with Baum adding weight is because his biggest issue last year was his defense as well. So I'm just hoping that doesn't make him a little slower, make his fielding the same, if not maybe a little worse, because I'm hoping he worked on it. But especially if he's going to play on the left side of the infield instead of at first. But I mean, I'm not going to complain because I'll take 30, 35 dingers over with average defense in the field anyway.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. But
see how it goes, dude. I'm excited.
And what was yours? What's your hot take?
It's just stop comparing Lamar to Pat Mahomes, please. Stop. I've seen a lot of comparisons and a lot of stats thrown out there. Just stop. Stats can be misleading sometimes, and sometimes they're always misleading because you like to use them in your favor and you like to use them against your favor. But Lamar's not a good thrower. And people are like, he's on a run first team or Pat is a pass first team. Well, Lamar runs 10, 15 times a game, man. So whose fault is that? You know what I mean? I'm not saying he has the same weapons and stuff, but it's not even a hot take. Lamar's just not even top 10. I can name 10 better right now off the top of my head. If people really want me to do it, I will.
Absolutely.
Let's go. Rodgers, Brady, that's 2. Mahomes is 3.
Mahomes. I'm taking Josh Allen.
Josh Allen's 4, right? It's 4? Wait, so we'll just restart. Rodgers, Brady, Mahomes, Josh Allen, Russell Wilson.
Justin Herbert.
I got to see more out of him this year, but yeah, that kid's just lethal. Love him.
Absolutely.
Deshaun Watson.
Dak Prescott.
Matt Stafford. Dak Prescott. We just need one more.
I'm still putting Carson over him. Fuck it.
I do put Carson over him, yeah. Oh, Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah. It's easy.
Don't care. People can at me. People can say stupid shit. Don't care because it's not stupid. It's the truth. It's the truth.
It is the truth. And then, I mean, when you put the stats up there, when you put the season stats up there, they're going to be close because they've both been above 500 better AFC teams for the last 2 seasons. So, and
it's probably
Lamar had a very good defense the past 2 years. So
probably take Kirk over him too, because a lot of people don't know this about Kirk. He's like the only. I don't know about this year, but before that, he was like the only QB over like the last. Let me see. I can pull up the numbers real quick. I don't even need the actual stat. I just need to see his numbers. I take Kyler over him too. By the way.
Oh yeah, definitely taking Kyler.
Kirk was like the only. I think he was like consistently the only QB over 25 touchdowns over like the last 4 or 5 years, which was crazy. It was some shit. My dad sent me it one time, and it was actually a pretty impressive stat. And I was like, wow. Like I was naming QBs. It was like Rodgers, Brady. He was like, no. I was like, whoa. So I mean, Breeze, yeah, even though he's retired, I was going to name him, but I was just like, he's probably retiring. He didn't retire yet, but
he hasn't yet. Yeah.
I probably definitely want to take Kirk over him, but that's like a fringe one. I'd take Joe Burrow over him.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm already taking Trevor Lawrence over him. And Zach Wilson.
I'll take my guy, Zach.
And Justin Fields.
I don't even hate Lamar. I like him. I just think he's so overhyped.
No, absolutely. And I tell you, I say it all the time. I think he has the worst arm in the NFL.
I saw his playoff stats today, and like 3 or 4 games? He's like 3 TDs, 5 interceptions, and 5 fumbles, dude.
Well, my biggest thing with him was, so I went to the game this year when he played in Philly, when he played live.
Yeah, we were with each other, boy.
Oh, yeah, we were. I forgot. I thought you went to the Giants game with me.
He wasn't even good.
Anyway, that game made me realize how much he cannot throw the fucking ball. Like, watching him throw it into the dirt like 3 or 4 fucking times was just
Eagles defense was so bad too that it was like, I remember like a 4th and 1 on their 40, and he ran it up the middle for like 40 yards for a touchdown, and I was just like,
yeah,
nice. I was
That's
like,
what the
nice.
Eagles did all season this year, like letting Daniel Jones run and trip on the 10-yard line. So that was bound to happen.
Yeah.
But everybody, go hit up Instagram. Just put up a new poll. I actually put this up without even telling Blake because I actually don't know how he thinks about it. But what do you guys want? Do you guys want us to start bringing some guests on this bitch? Like, we can even bring in, like, we have a bunch of buddies that are outside Philly fans. So we could bring them on as special guests. We could start branching out a little bit, maybe start talking about different teams outside of Philadelphia and how they can incorporate and, like, how we just beat the shit out of them every time we play them, like that type of shit. So go on Instagram. The poll might not be up by the time this podcast is up, but send us a message, comment on it. Like, let us know what you think, if you should have guests on here, because I'm pumped. We're 13 episodes in, man.
It's been a great time.
I'm having fun. I'm having a lot of fun. And I think we can, like, especially if we do Zoom on the times that we can't be with each other, like last week, I think that's like a perfect time to bring a guest on, bring them in, have them talk for like 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Just, even if it's our buddies, just especially like how we're saying, like, squawk and talk for days on the Sixers. Like,
he loves when we talk Sixers too. He told me last week, he was like, last week was a really good episode, and he was like, I love the Sixers talk. You know me, like, I really enjoyed it. Like, he enjoyed everything. He laid it all out for him. He was like, Sixers talk. He's like, you know me, because basketball is my favorite. I'm telling you, that guy fucking pick his brain apart, set some questions up for him, fucking prep him, be like, hit him like a real fucking player. Be like, let's make this dude fucking.
Well, hit him like fucking when, like, Good Morning Football, like, hits Adam Schefter with like 30 questions in a row, and SportsCenter hits fucking Woj with like 10 questions in a row. Like,
wasn't there a Woj bomb right before we got on, or no?
Not sure. I don't know. My dumb ass got hit by a fake fucking tweet this morning saying Kyle Lowry to the Sixers. So.
It's all right. It happens to the best of us.
That shit destroyed me. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed it again. Hit us up. Let us know what you guys think about the special guest, or if you want to be a special guest. Because each week we can do maybe 1 or 2, start to get it flowing. Even when we're in person, you can come do it in person with us. Like, that should be sick. But other than that, based on if Blake has anything.
No, I'm good, man. Everybody, you all have a good week. We did this a little early, so you probably still won't hear until Thursday, but hope everyone has a blessed week. Stay away and watch out for the weirdos out there. Yeah, enjoy the Flyers, enjoy the Sixers. Hopefully next time we're talking, it seems like every time we mention something that happens like the next day, hopefully Kyle Lowry's a Sixer by tomorrow.
Hopefully. I'm calling it right now. Peace.